Hey, how's it going, guys? Jackson here with Toasty DIY, and today I'm going to be showing you guys this 12 by 12 foot porch that I built for I think around 500 bucks, which I honestly have no clue if that's towards the cheap end or high end for a deck like this. And also just a disclaimer, I don't have a ton of experience with building decks. It's actually the first deck I've ever built. I did a decent amount of research, but I didn't do a ton. So yeah, let's go ahead and kind of talk about it a little bit. So like I said, it's exactly 12 feet by 12 feet. I ended up having to actually use 12 foot 2x6s on top because right now Lowe's and Home Depot and all those major appliance and hardware stores are having shortages on things like deck boards and 4x4s. So I also wasn't able to get 4x4s. I had to get these, I believe they're 4x8s or 4x6s. I ended up having to go with those instead. And then I know the thing that a lot of people probably won't agree with is direct to ground contact. I actually, I concreted the bottoms and everything, but I know after some people kind of corrected me on it, they said you should use those blocks that actually have the slot for a 4x4 cut out. But nonetheless, I'm really happy with it, and this is just the way that I did it, but it's not necessarily the way that I recommend doing it. So yeah, that's an extra piece of wood. I was like, what is that? So this, it turned out really good. Like I said, I think it was a little bit under 500. It might have been like right at 500. It's all screwed in too. These are each one screwed in with a few of the 3-inch outdoor Phillips head screws, so I don't have to worry about those rusting or anything anytime soon. And as far as how I did like the supports in the middle and everything, I actually basically used these guys and ran them vertically opposed. So here, I'll actually show you guys the underside of one spot. So yeah, I mean, it's actually really simple. It was nice because I was able to basically just get all of the same type of wood. Really the only pieces of wood that I used were these 2x6x12s. I think these were, like I said, 4x8 or 4x6x8. And that's what I used like for this bench support too. Obviously the top of this bench is just, once again, the same exact boards that I used for the actual slats. Which, one nice part about these boards that you got to keep in mind is normal deck boards are like 5/16 of an inch thick. These are like 1.5 inches, because typically when something's like 2x4, it's actually 1.5 by 3.25, if I'm remembering correctly. It's usually never the exact size. It's just those are like the general sizes, and they have actual sizes. And then as far as like fitment goes, I didn't even measure each one out a certain length apart. I just kind of eyeballed each one and tried to get them as straight as I could. And one of the biggest things is just to make sure that your end pieces are basically lined up on both sides. Like, you don't want one that has an inch gap over here and then has like a 2-inch gap on the other side, because that means that you've been stacking them slightly diagonal, and it's gotten worse with each stack. Over here, these are actually 2x4s, and this is all treated wood, by the way. These are treated 2x4s, and I kind of like it because it's kind of hard to tell the difference, I feel like, just by looking at it, unless you're really going out of your way. And the funny part is I only used the 2x4s because I ran out of these, and I had already been to Lowe's like 5 times. Like, okay, I'm not going again. So these are actually just 2x4s, and as you can see, I added a little bit of overhang on this one. Once again, just honestly eyeballed a lot of this stuff, and I really do like the overhang that I made for it too. I actually made sure everything was level, and that's why there's an overhang, because we sit on a little bit of a hill. It's actually a pretty hilly backyard. But yeah, no, I mean, like I said, I'm happy with how it turned out. I put some of this outdoor furniture that I actually found for free a while back. I had it just sitting over here in the yard for a while, but I decided to move that over. It was missing a chair. I guess it was missing a chair. I'd assume it's supposed to come with 4, so now the bench can sit 2 more people. And then this is one of my favorite parts. I have the grill add-on feature, because I did actually have it like right against the edge of the house, which isn't the safest anyways. And on top of that, like, I was having to walk through the grass, and I was killing parts of the grass to grill. So this is nice that it's on a permanent hard surface. And then I had the little fire pit over here just sitting on an extra concrete block that had pretty much came with the house. So, you know, I'll show you guys a little bonus feature too. This is actually my girlfriend's garden that her and I made together. This is like a raised garden bed. I think these are 2x8s or 2x6s, just like we use in the deck. Treated 2x4s all the way around. And then we were having issues with, you know, her stuff getting eaten, like birds and rabbits. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna, you know, put this stuff on the side. So I did that, but then I was like, you know what? I wanna go the extra mile because there's things like birds and, you know, squirrels that can still get in. This really, I feel like the wall is just protecting against like bunnies and stuff like that. So I decided to make this, which is basically on a hinge, and then it sits on these blocks right here. So voila, you have that. And I'm actually pretty proud of this. I need to get bigger screen for it because you can see the screen doesn't cover all the way, and that's just like I think it's vinyl screen or fiberglass screen. But yeah, we got some I think strawberries, some lettuce. It looks like she pulled some stuff up. I think she told me she pulled like cauliflower up because we had a couple cauliflower. It actually looks like this might be kind of blooming. I don't know if that's cauliflower. I think it is, but I really can't remember. I think those are lettuce in the corners, and that's like ready to be eaten. Obviously strawberries, and I think that's it. I think there's like 2 different types of strawberries, lettuce, and some other stuff. But yeah, I'm pretty excited about this. The one thing I really could have done, I feel like, to make it better was add some type of like hydraulics, because it's not heavy, but it's definitely not light. Like for me to do that with one hand, it was a little bit difficult with my lefty, but you know, we were able to cope with it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and the bonus. You know, these like I said, in my backyard, and I really enjoy building stuff like this. It's kind of like it's funny because I'll work, you know, 8, 10, 12-hour day, and then this is kind of what I come back to do is like my meditation. You know, everybody has their own thing. Some people come back and, you know, sit down and play video games. You know, if I have something to work on like this is kind of like my meditation. And although it's not fun for the body after working that long, it's good for the mind, you know. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one.